What is going on, New York Giant fans? Welcome back to another Roster Bubble Series video. Hit the like button if you haven't already, comment, and subscribe. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops or a video drops. Appreciate you coming back. Also, share this out too. And appreciate everyone who's been sticking around for this series, as after this video, I believe we have two more candidates / profiles to do. Unless the Giants bring in somebody who is a Roster Bubble candidate, this series will end, I would say, not after this one, not after the next one, but the one after that. So it's two more profiles after this, and then it will be all done for the 2023 preseason, offseason, whatever you want to call it. So if you haven't been to Roster Bubble Series video before, how I run it down is I take a player that's on the cusp of being cut. I talk about their background, competition. Sometimes I'll include college stats if they're inexperienced. I'll talk about how they could win a spot on the roster, how they could lose a spot on the roster, and then a prediction at the end. So let's get right into it. And today's profile is Kevin Atkins. First, though, we have to go over our sponsor. Yes, we are now sponsored by the ticket vendors, also known as SeatGeek. Looking to go to a concert, a Giants game, a ball game in general. Now you can with our help. Get $20 off your entire order with the promo code Big Blue in the Bronx, which is the channel name. So you can just scrunch it together and put it in the promo code box for SeatGeek on your purchase, of course. So Kevin Atkins, what's to know about him? Well, he was an undrafted free agent from last year, and let's dig into him. So played a couple of years at Fresno State, specifically 2017 to 2021. Mountain West Conference, smaller school, so it's not like the competition is SEC or the Big 10 or the Big 12 or any of those different conferences, whatever. So let's start. In his freshman year, 7 games, 2 tackles for loss, 19 tackles. Second year, 1 sack, 4.5 tackles for loss, 28 tackles in 10 games. Third year, 2019, 11 games, 31 total tackles, 7 tackles for loss, 4 sacks. The following season, also that year, he did have a pass deflection and a forced fumble. 2020, 4.5 sacks, 4.5 tackles for loss, 22 tackles in 6 games. And then 2021, his final year, 41 tackles, 13 games, 13 tackles for loss, and 7 sacks. So he really poured it on his final years at Fresno State, and he signed with the 49ers during the preseason, didn't do much of anything except making 1 tackle. And then he went to the XFL with the St. Louis Battlehawks, played in 10 games, started 9 of them, made a total of 14 tackles, 1 sack, and that's pretty much that. So nothing much other than that. You move to his traits coming out of Fresno State. Solid production at Fresno State as a pass rusher, as we mentioned. Most production comes as a 3 technique. Good change of direction, navigates twists and stunts on blitzes so linebackers can run free. That's something we talk about here a lot, is with defensive linemen, linebackers, edge rushers. Put yourself in a position so that other teammates can make a tackle, get a sack, get a pass deflection, whatever the case may be. And it's not like coaches don't look at that. Coaches do look at that because you're a role player in that aspect. But also some bad things about Kevin Atkins. Double teams eliminate him easily, and hand placement needs improvement. He's also an older player. He is as old as John Michael Schmitz. He's 25. So last preseason had 1 tackle. Now let's move on to the competition. Didn't do anything against the Detroit Lions last Friday. Not even a tackle. So that's already off to a seemingly not so great start. But competition-wise, Donovan Jeter, Brandon Bryant, Jordan Riley, DJ Davidson, Ryder Anderson, both of those last 2 guys are injured. Kobe Smith. Jeter, not Derek Jeter, but Donovan Jeter, undrafted free agent from last year with a couple of different teams. Brandon Bryant, undrafted free agent from 2016, veteran journeyman. Jordan Riley, 7th-round pick of the Giants from this past year. And then Kobe Smith, who's been an undrafted free agent from South Carolina back to the year when Javon Kinlaw was drafted. And he's been moving around different rosters, the Eagles, the Bucks, so on and so forth. So how can Kevin Atkins win? Win battles as a pass rusher in 1v1s, and be the Tashawn Bauer of the preseason. Now, if anyone doesn't know what that means is get a lot of sacks. There was a guy a couple of years ago that the Giants got, and he ended up playing a few games and then going back to the Steelers. No, that was not Quincy Roche, though Quincy Roche did that in, I believe, 2021. The guy I'm referring to is Tuzar Skipper. He had 5 sacks. The Steelers cut him. They wanted to move him to the practice squad. The Giants snuck in off the waiver wire and got him. And then same thing happened with Quincy Roche, which is a little weird. But anyway, back to the thing that we're talking about. Deshaun Bauer had 4 or 5 sacks last preseason for the Raiders. He's on our roster right now, but he had 5 sacks last year for the Raiders in the preseason. He made the roster, but made absolutely no impact in the regular season games. Was often a healthy scratch, just unavailable as the Raiders made him. But he made his way onto an active roster, and Kevin Atkins has yet to do that. So try to be the Deshaun Bauer of the preseason and win battles as a pass rusher in 1v1s, whether it's in practice. I don't know how he did in joint practices versus the Lions, but there's not going to be any more joint practices, so better do it against your teammates and win your battles one-on-one in a game if you're put in that position. And then stay disciplined against the run. That's going to be one of the big things, right? Brandon Bryant, Donovan Jeter, those guys are mainly run defenders. Kobe Smith, too. They stay in their gaps. They put themselves in position so that other teammates can make plays. Same thing can be said for Jordan Riley. Jordan Riley just a little bit better than the 3 guys just mentioned. But Kevin Atkins, I think that's important. I don't know specifically how he did in college versus the run, but it's a good asset to have. It's a good trait to add to your resume for other teams across the NFL now that rushing quarterbacks are a thing. And obviously running backs are, they're not as valued as before, but you still have a lot of rushing threats. Miles Sanders and Dalvin Cook was. Aaron Jones will be facing this season. So, again, a lot of different pieces. Plus, the Giants could not stop the run for shit last year. How can you lose? Stonewalled as a rusher, lack of production, bullied as a run defender. Those two are going to be the biggest killers. And he's already down in the count in terms of not making the roster because you got a lot of competition. And also, you didn't make a tackle against the Lions, which goes on the X list, not the check mark list. So stonewalled as a rusher, lack of production, bullied as a run defender. That's how he can lose, how he can win. Win battles as a pass rusher and one-on-ones. Be the Deshaun Bauer of the preseason. Stay disciplined against the run. I have him being cut. I don't think he'll make the practice squad either. I think he's just been a body that's been floating around. I think he might find his way back to the XFL, but I think for Kevin Atkins, this was a goal of his, to make the roster or the practice squad, but he got to play a little bit in the NFL. And, they post those graphics on Twitter for the XFL. Hey, this guy's going to a workout with the Giants. We'll see if he gets signed or whatnot. But I have him being cut. I think there's just way too much competition, and I don't think he is as talented as some of the other guys that are competing against him. Like, comment, subscribe to all the good stuff. Turn on post notifications so you know when a live stream pops. Do your jobs. Appreciate you coming back. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.